Hello everyone, this is Professor Ma, and this is the sections on uh, rectangular coordinate systems. Uh, Up to this point, what we have done a sign chart. Okay, for example, we did say what's the sign of x squared minus 1, of course, we factored it. And then we find out zeros when x equals plus and minus 1. And then we check for sign, then we find out, on this side will be positive, in the middle, everything will be negative, and on this side will be positive. And we can regard this as what we can record about these formulas on a line, a one-dimensional graph. And what we're going to do, of course, is do the two-dimensional graph, which gives more information about its formula. And if you know how to graph formulas, and you know it's going to come out to be a parabola. And the positive means the graph's on top, the negative portions on the bottom, and the positive on top of it. So it's very easy to, for the negative sign, the graph's on the bottom, for the positive sign, the graph is on the top. And so this is what we're going to get to. Okay, so first we are going to review or summarize the coordinate systems that we're going to draw these two-dimensional graphs. And that's, of course, it's a rectangular coordinate system. Okay, in the rectangular coordinate systems, we put a horizontal measurement, the x-axis, and then we'll have a vertical up and down measurement called the y-axis. Then every point can be pinpointed by two numbers we call ordered pair. And in particular, this is the order pair 4 minus 3, that's the point. And the first number 4, the x number is starting from 0, you go right or left. The amount to move to right or left, that's the x number. And the y number, you go up or down. And so that's the location of the point 4 minus 6. So notice in this particular setup, any points on x-axis, like these points, and that will be 4, 0, and this point will be 7, 0. So anything on x-axis looks like number 0. That's this coordinate. The axis divides the plane into 4 quadrants, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, but we call them quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4 in this fashion. And quadrant 1 are the points with both number positive for the coordinates. And quadrant 2, negative plus, quadrant 3, both negative, that's the coordinate for quadrant 4. So plus followed by minus. What else? When we play around with the coordinates, then it moves the point actually. So for instance, if I locate the point xy, then the point x minus x will be y. It will be across on the other side. Same things. Similarly, for if I change the y to negative, then the position of the 2 points are reflected up and down. And if I change both, then the points you wind up with both coordinate negative. You wind up the points opposite the diagonal. So that's the effect of putting minus sign in front of the coordinate. Adding coordinates to x corresponds to moving the point right or left. Adding numbers to the y component, the 3, for instance, then corresponding moving the points up and down. Okay. What are some other formula? The most important formula, somewhat most important formula is the distance formula, the straight line distance, d over here. If I use Pythagorean theorem, there's a right triangle right here. And so all I have to figure out is what's the distance in here, what's the distance over here. Then I can solve for D by using right triangle. And so in this example, if I tell the difference, if I call the difference between x2 minus x1, the difference between the y numbers, y2 minus 1, y1, and then the x1 and y1, and delta x and delta y, subtracting the x's and subtracting the y's. And then the distance formulas, you take the square root of the sum of the square. That's perfect. And translate that into formulas. That's this distance formula. Okay. And what else is important? The midpoint formula. How do I calculate the midpoint at 2 points? Well, if I start out on a straight line, the midpoint of 2 points on a line, it's just adding them and divided by 2, the average. Okay. So for 2 dimensions, so if I want to find the midpoint between these 2 points, all I have to do is average the x coordinates and average the y coordinates and put them together. That point will be the midpoint between the 2 endpoints. Okay, and that's it. And do the homeworks and see you later. Bye bye. Thank you.